Alright. Sorry, been watching a lot of Bob's Burgers. Hi guys, what is up? My name is Summer Gill and welcome to my little YouTube channel. Today I thought it would be fun to do a little video about my songwriting process because this is a question I get asked all the time when I'm at my gigs and stuff. People who listen to my music, they always want to know how I write songs, where the songs come from, what my influences are, and what my inspiration is. All that good stuff. So I figured today it would be cool to do just a little video about that. This is by no means a tutorial on how to write a song. There is no one right or wrong way to write a song. This is simply a video just about my experiences with songwriting and how I go about writing songs. First off, I tend to hear a melody or a line in my head a lot of times when I'm driving long distances, or when I have, long walks. I would hear a lot of melodies on my walk to classes when I was in school, just sort of start humming them to myself. A lot of times when I'm in the car, I will hear a melody, it just sort of starts coming out and I'll start singing it to myself. But a lot of times this happens on specifically long road trips. When I was up at FSU, I had to drive a lot between Tallahassee and Stewart, which is like a 5.5 hour, 6 hour drive most of the time, unless you're going like 100 miles an hour. But yeah, I would, just hear those melodies and start singing them, and I had, 6 hours to kill and just entertain myself in the car to keep myself awake. Just start singing that and build upon that. And then next, I usually will start playing around with a few words, maybe just 1 or 2 lines that I think sound poetic. Maybe I'll find a cool little rhyme that I think is interesting and fits in with the melody that I've been playing with, or sometimes I even hear the line first and then have to find a melody to match it. But what I like to do also is sort of take like cliche lines or phrases and sort of flip them around, play a little bit with, the structure of the sentence or the structure of the phrase. For instance, so that is the song Stormy Weather, which is what you hear in the intro and outro of most of my videos. For that line, I use, it's a little bit of nothing all rolled into one, which is a play on the phrase that a lot of people use all the time, it's a little bit of everything rolled into one. So my line is, it's a little bit of nothing all rolled into one. And, that sort of fits in with the meaning of the song. It's like, you're preparing for the worst and there's nothing really going on, but you feel like it's all of these little things that are just compiling up into this one big thing, even though none of those little things are really, an issue, if that makes sense. And then what I like to do after that is I like to just leave the song. Just leave it alone for a few hours, a few days, a few weeks, a few months even. I think it's really important to let a song sit before you finish it because, sometimes you'll write something out and you'll be like, this is awesome, this is the best thing I've ever written, this is definitely getting a Grammy as soon as I record it. And then you'll come back to it and be like, ugh. So yeah, it's definitely important to not force the song. Only in very, very rare occasions do you sit down and start a song and finish it in that same session. No, it's super important to just let it sit, think about it for a few days, or don't think about it for a few days. So you come back to it with a fresh mind, an open mind, and you are definitely not trying to force it. And then this next one is a little backwards. Again, this is just my writing process. This is by no means what you have to do. After I've come up with words and a melody, then I go to the piano. And then I sit down and I figure out what key I want to sing it in, because a lot of times I get over ambitious and I, want to be Beyonce, and I'm an alto, so yeah, so I go to the piano and I figure out a key that is comfortable for me to sing the songs in, which is super important too. You don't want to write a song that you can't sing. You want to write a song that is comfortable for your voice and highlights your voice in a way that, you know, shows it off to the best of its ability, right? So definitely when you're writing a song, play around with the key, play around with your comfort level and your range, try and figure out, you know, how many octaves you have, where you're most comfortable in your vocal range. After that, I like to then write a little sort of ditty on the piano. I do like to put little, you know, instrumental fills in there just to keep the song interesting. So yeah, I'll write little, what is the word I'm looking for? Instrumental pieces on the piano, just to fill, you know, in between verses, in between choruses. And then that is about it as a solo artist for the song. After I've put the piano and the vocals together, then the basic song structure is done. After that, it's, you know, just tweaking, maybe moving parts around. It's like building blocks or Legos or something. You can just move it around and figure out what structure works best and what is the catchiest version, what works best for you, just what works best. So like I said, that is how I write songs as a solo artist, and then when I want to go into the studio, most of the time I want full production of my songs, and I have lots of different ideas for what I want them to sound like. So then I'll go into the recording studio and I will start recruiting my musician friends. Sometimes we can do stuff on the MIDI board, but it is so much better most of the time to just have the real instrument and have, you know, a master of their instrument come in and be able to record on your song. So I won't get into the whole process of recording right now. I will save that for a later video. I won't bore you with all of those details just yet. So that is it, guys. That is a basic little summary of how I write songs. Again, disclaimer, this is not a tutorial by any means. This is not how you have to write songs. I was just answering questions that I get a lot about my songwriting process. If you did like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe, wherever the subscribe button is, that little red button, and you can click the little bell next to it as well to turn on notifications for whenever I release a new video. I mainly release videos on Tuesdays, but I may start doing it more frequently than that. Maybe Tuesdays, Thursdays, who knows? I don't know. Also, if you have any suggestions for future videos, maybe future cover songs that you'd like me to do, please be sure to leave that in the comments below. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys. Much love.